Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. The topic for today is The Dragon Sucks in the Dragon of Icespire Peak. This is a Dungeon Master guide for the Dragon of Icespire Peak, the Dungeons and Dragons 5e adventure in the D&D Essentials kit. So what is wrong with the dragon battle at Icespire Hold? Well, first off, there's quite a few different things that are wrong with this particular battle because it's set up specifically to do one thing, and that is to be easy. First off, Cryovane the dragon is asleep and will likely be surprised by the party. The dragon doesn't get a chance to fight before being terminated by the player's characters usually. The dragon is used as a solo monster, which never works as a challenge for a group of player characters due to the overwhelming character actions that the party have. A young white dragon is not tough enough for a group of level 6 characters where you have between 4 and 5 characters in your game, and won't just be an easy fight by the Dungeon Master Guide encounter building calculations, it will be a cakewalk. It's impossible to plan for every group size, and beginners are hard to assess in terms of their combat skill. So the dragon has been designed to be easily killed by the Wizards of the Coast team. This encounter is actually set up to be easy to be dealt with. How do you make Cryovane the young white dragon more challenging for your player characters? Well, here is an extensive list of which you don't have to use everything, you can just use some of it. Don't let the dragon be asleep. Okay, don't have the dragon sleeping, so that Cryovane is not murdered while he's asleep. It's just not a fun way to have a dragon encounter. Arrange the environment so the players can't easily surprise the dragon by having an alarm set up around Cryovane, like crunching ice, or even the alarm spell, or using something like a ice method as a sentry. Include mist and cloud cover around the fortress rooftop to heavily obscure the dragon while it circles, waiting for its breath weapon to recharge, or as a way to escape when outmatched by the party. Assign the young white dragon maximum hit points so it lasts longer than one round of combat, and that means about 196 hit points, and you could even just top it up to 200 if you wanted to. Increase the dragon damage output by rolling a 6-sided dice and adding that amount to the average damage for every single attack it makes. Give the dragon 3 legendary resistances like an adult dragon, so it can survive spellcasters with fireball and other damage dealing spells or magical effects. Add some legendary actions to the dragon at the end of every player's turn. Not just 3, so you can compete with all the player characters' actions. Include things like the dodge action, the dash action, hide action, and basic attack actions. Give the dragon lair actions to give the environment more interesting effects and make it a more tactical fight rather than just a slog on the dragon to remove hit points. Even if you allow the dragon to have legendary actions and lair actions, it doesn't change the fact that you are dealing with a solo monster. It's still only one target for a group of characters, so therefore it's going to wind up losing probably most of the time because it's the only target being attacked. So my suggestion to you is, add minions to your dragon fight, like the ice method. Remember, minions don't really solve the problem because the party will likely have the fireball spell, and there's also a necklace of fireballs in the adventure. But if you spread them out, it can change the way the fight runs. Use effective dragon tactics, such as flying overhead and attacking with the cold breath weapon, or grabbing a character and dropping them 200 feet off the mountain for 20d6 falling damage. Now that's a lot of damage for a level 6 character, so you can amend that. I will explain what your likely outcome is going to be for an encounter when you're doing those particular tactics, but those are normal dragon tactics in any kind of fight. A young or an adult white dragon breath is not very likely to kill a level 6 character in one round, but it might drop a character to 0 hit points if they fail the saving throw for the breath weapon. So use it and stop worrying about character death. Somebody's bound to go and pick them up or cast a spell and get them back in the fight. A character falling 200 feet off a fortress has a low probability of instantly killing a martial class character, but it will drop them to 0 hit points, and they will be forced to make death saving throws. There are other ways of dealing with falling. You don't have to make it 200 feet. There's always the option to change the falling distance to 100 feet for an average of about 30 to 35 hit points of damage when they fall. That's 10 six-sided dice instead of 20 six-sided dice. So if you're worried about the distance them falling, then change it to 100 feet. You can even make it shorter than that if you wanted to. Include a second young white dragon as a sibling to the final battle to make this harder. This will make the fight hard to deadly for the player characters or heroes. This is based on the Dungeon Master Guide encounter building calculations, so consider it a reasonable solution. What I'm really going to suggest to you, specifically for people who aren't intermediate or beginner players or completely new to the game, switch out the young white dragon for an adult white dragon, because it's possible that a group of level 6 characters will crush most monsters, and experienced players can take it. They can handle an adult white dragon at level 6. Dragons don't normally fight to the death, so once it has lost about half its hit points, it should be fleeing into the cloud cover, if it's possible to survive to do so. If it can't flee, then it wouldn't flee. It might actually bargain with the player characters to see if it can save its own life, particularly if it thinks it's going to be taken out. If any monster is going to kill a character, it should be the dragon at the end of this adventure. So even though it's certainly a possibility, don't take that away from players, because there's nothing more frustrating than having a dragon fight which lasts 1 or 2 rounds and it just gets utterly eliminated or destroyed and nobody takes any damage or takes any injuries during that fight. It is better to have somebody go down or somebody die, in my opinion. But take this all with a grain of salt. These are a whole bunch of ideas here you can use. Use the ones that are useful to you and ditch the ones you don't think you can use. Now, if you found this useful, that's great. I have hundreds of videos for players and dungeon masters. I also have a live stream that goes into this particular topic in far more detail if you are interested. If you want to support the channel so I keep doing video content like this, you can through Patreon. The Amazon affiliate links down in the description, the merchandise shelf underneath all of my videos, or just watch my videos, that's fine. Make sure to do the usual YouTube things like share, like and subscribe. Hit the bell button to be notified when I go live, and I go live every week and when I publish new videos. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.